The following podcast is a mass media production.
Hi, I'm Josh Galindo.
And I'm Krystal Galindo. Welcome to the Going Galindo Rugrats and Renovations podcast.
A lifestyle podcast where we will offer our experience and expertise in building real, lasting wealth through renovating and flipping homes.
And the chaos that comes with balancing a family of 6, leaving nothing unsaid.
Follow our wild ride we call life and apply our lessons to your own journey.
Good morning, honey.
Good morning.
Oh my gosh, you look beautiful today.
Thank you.
You know what it is?
Ooh, my washed hair.
I think it's your washed hair. And I think it's the same exact outfit you wore on episode 1.
It is not. This shirt's new. I've never worn this before. I don't get it.
You wore that same episode on episode 1, or the same outfit on episode 1?
I thought you meant season 1. I'm like, no, it's new.
No.
Oh.
Today's a great day.
Yes.
Are you feeling grateful for 2022?
I am.
I am too. And I have an abundance of gratitude this year.
I was struggling at
the
first,
moment.
but I'm back. I'm back.
Do you care to share that, or you just want to?
Oh, I don't want to get emotional. Yeah,
So
it's
is that
just
a no?
heavy. It's just heavy. My PTSD came up, and
Yeah, today's a day that I don't think is worth acknowledging moving on from today, but it is the first day.
Mm-hmm. It's the first one.
The first one. Thank you. So maybe it should be acknowledged. So go ahead, because if anything, we could spin it into a space of gratitude.
Okay. So today is the 1-year anniversary of when I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
And what is your status today?
I'm cancer-free.
Boom. Fuck yeah. It's incredible.
The longest, shortest year of my life.
Yeah. It was a wild ride,
Yeah.
man. It really was. To look back and think about it and recite what we went through was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And to think a year ago, yeah, I guess if you really, really do want to double down on that, it's kind of an interesting space to feel and experience. A year ago, you walked in and said, and shook your head yes. You couldn't even talk. You just shook your head yes. And then all of that journey. Mm-hmm. And then here we are today.
Yeah.
In a way cooler space. We own the building.
Yeah.
You're cancer free.
Mm-hmm.
You have all your hair.
Yep.
Our kids are incredibly healthy.
Yep.
Happy.
Yep.
Thriving.
Yes.
Our families are healthy, happy, and thriving. Our friends are healthy, happy, and thriving.
Mm-hmm.
Our business is healthy, happy, and thriving.
Yeah.
I just have so much to be grateful for. It's just crazy. Hey guys, if you're looking for some family fun, I know I always am. Check out Circus Hotel and Casino. At Circus, there is something for everyone. Have a blast inside the Adventure Dome, a 5-acre indoor theme park with 30 rides, including their newest rides, Twisted Teacups, Circus Swings, and Little Sprinter Raceway. Or act like a kid again at the Midway, playing arcade games or enjoying their daily free circus acts. Looking for a special date night? Look no further than their award-winning restaurant called The Steakhouse. Voted best steakhouse in Las Vegas. Circus offers affordable room rates starting at just $29 per night. Book your stay today at circuscircus.com.
Okay, so
Because this might be the most important episode we do for all of season 4, and it may even be the most important episode for the entire podcast. Seriously, because goals are what allows you to implement everything that you've learned or everything that we've mentioned. Without goals, all of this is just entertainment.
Right.
You're listening for entertainment or to justify or to make yourself feel as if you're doing something better. But goals are the action. Goals are the fuel.
Goals are the action,
It's like you're walking around a Lamborghini gawking over it versus going, I'm going to put gas in that and give me the keys. 2 different experiences. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm just having fun with it.
Okay, that's
Stay
fine.
tuned. Krystal didn't want to have any fun.
I'm the fun one.
She sometimes she's the fun one.
Every couple has a fun one.
That's right. After 5 o'clock on Friday, this girl's fun button gets stuck. It's like someone sprinkled fruit punch around the button, and when you push it, it doesn't come back out. That happens at 5 o'clock.
That's how fun
on
I am?
Fridays. Yes.
Yes.
Your fun button's constantly pushed. And then by like Sunday at 5 o'clock,
Pops
I'm
back
over there
up.
with like some fucking rubbing alcohol trying to get the fucking button unstuck so that it pops back out and she goes back to work.
You're welcome.
All right. I thought that'd be fun. Okay. Go ahead. Goals.
Okay, goals. So when do you set them? Because you have to start with setting them. Is there a specific time to set them? Like everybody does the new year, but...
Well, what needs to be, what's important to know is that goals are in tiers.
Okay.
Okay, you got to have 5-year, 3-year, 2-year, 1 year, monthly, weekly, quarterly. I don't do quarterly because I think saying the word quarterly or Q1 sounds cheesy. So you got to have them in tiers.
Okay.
So, but you got to start with the big one. So yes, I always set a goal the wheel starts spinning, the pot starts getting mixed in about October, November, December.
Yeah.
In anticipation for the following year.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say you don't start January 1st.
No.
You start brewing October, preparing for the new year.
Right. Because I don't want to hit the ground on January and then be like, got my goals in February. Like you missed a whole month.
Yeah.
No, I want to hit the ground running on January 1st, 5th, 6th, whatever it is by the time we get back from vacations, knowing that we have a blueprint ready to go. Uh-huh. So I'm a big believer in real estate because oftentimes real estate slows down a little bit in the winter months. Is October you start thinking about it, knowing it's coming. November you start putting some energy on it. And then between December 5th and 20th, you're on the drawing board and you're laying out precisely the goals that you want to accomplish over the year. And what I always start with is when I do goals, to me it's not like I want to buy a Porsche. That doesn't make sense to me. I start out, or I want to buy a house, or I want to buy this, or I want to buy that. My goals every single year start with how much money I want to make.
I was going to say, what do you consider when you're setting your goals?
It has to be money. It has to be money. If you're talking financial goals, if you want to lose weight, then that's a different story. If you want to, improve your social life, that's a different story. If you want to improve your family life, different story. Which I am referring to financial goals in this immediate moment. You start with a specific amount of money. Period. Then you could go and play Fantasyland. You don't go, I want to go buy a Porsche, but I don't know how much money I'm going to make. I want to go buy XYZ, but I don't know how much money I'm going to make. You got to know how much money you're going to make.
Yeah.
And then once you make it, you know that you can afford all those things underneath it. So I start with the amount of money.
So that's funny. So when you do set your goals, like for example for this year, do you have something that you are shooting towards saving to be able to buy?
So,
because I feel like in my goals, in my mind, I don't have anything that's like
materialistic that you're interested in.
No.
Well, here's where goals shift.
That's okay.
It is okay. It is okay. And sometimes it's okay.
No judgment.
It's okay for different phases in people's journey. I don't believe it's okay in the early stages of your journey.
Okay.
Because in my opinion, I got asked this one time. It was when I was really young, and I didn't quite understand why I loved material things so much. It wasn't so much that I had this. It was an ex-girlfriend.
Ew.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
She goes, "Oh, you're obsessed with all this material stuff," and I'm like, "It's not the material thing. It's not this. It's what this thing represents." And I was referring to my Lexus at the time. I was like, "There's nothing but there's pristine engineering that took place to build this thing. There's luxury that's taking place here. That's an experience that I'm having that is superior to normal life.
Right.
And that's a little bit stimulating for me. There's so much more things that come with material things that aren't just a show-off session. It's an experience that I'm having that I'm enjoying. It's kind of like having a drink. You go from bone sober to having a drink, things are elevated. That's an experience that you're having because of the drink. Okay, well, materialistic things that are nice bring that same level of experience into my life. And I believe that life is about experiences. I could have this very humble approach and, live in a cave and wear a robe my whole life. But there's no experience there. Isn't life about experiences?
Right.
Okay,
right.
so you can either travel or you can understand what's taking place when you get behind that Porsche and start that engine. And that's an experience your body is physically having. There's value in that.
Yeah.
So I believe in accomplishing my experiences through materialistic things. And I think it's important to have those because the more materialistic things you can accomplish in your early stages, the more confidence you're building that you can accomplish more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you said, now fast forward to today.
Uh-huh.
You said that there's not really any materialistic things that you want. And I agree. There isn't for me either. There really isn't. Anything that I want, I could probably have. And if I don't have it, it's because I really don't want it that bad. So what then and this happened last year. This happened in 2020 when you and I sat down to do vision boards. I think it was 2020.
It was. It was
2020. They're shitty vision boards, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you why. I don't know if I ever even vocalized this to you. I understood why immediately. I looked at that board and I was like, everything on here requires time. We have all the material things that we want. The next tier of our experiences in life that we want to experience requires time.
Yeah.
You could give me a house in Malibu right now. What would I do with it?
There's no time to go.
Sneak out on a Friday after work and hang out until Sunday at 3 and rush home?
No.
Okay. Give me a private jet. What do I do with that? Nothing. Literally. Right? Like, what am I going to do with a private jet?
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing. Okay? Give me anything that is the next tier of experience in our life, and I won't be able to do anything with it because I don't have time. So then I have to reverse engineer that problem. How do I get more time? I get more money coming in while I'm sleeping. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So I need more cash flow. So now I identified the problem, and I go, okay, how do I fix this problem? I need more cash flow. So what is my focus? Buying more cash flowing assets so that when I hit that next pinnacle moment of my cash flowing assets career, I now have enough cash to be able to leave, and I don't need to, and now I can and now I don't and now I have more time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That was the problem.
Makes sense.
We could have put all those fantasy things on our board. We don't have enough time to enjoy them. We need to have substantial amount of cash flow to be able to go and enjoy that stuff. I don't want to rush home on Sunday at 3:00. I mean, I will of course do that now and here and there, but like, if we do go by a place in wherever we want to call it, some other place, we need more time to enjoy it.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So right now in my life, I'm focused on cash flow. I'm done with the material shit. I don't need any more material shit. If it comes into my life, it's temporary and it doesn't mean that much to me. What I'm focused on is saving so that I can buy more cash flowing assets so that I have time to go out and enjoy the things that I want to enjoy.
So what tools would you recommend somebody uses to envision their goals?
If you aren't going to write down your goals, which for me, I don't know. I think the reason that I don't write them down is it's not very stimulating. Like if I'm Times New Romaning, font 12, indentation, my goals, and then I stick it with a thumbtack in front of my computer, that's not very stimulating.
Right, no.
It's not very visual. It doesn't excite me. It doesn't make my imagination fucking go. Okay? But what I do is I have them everywhere. Like all of my goals are plastered everywhere. Like fuck average, be legendary. That's a 12 by 4 foot sign. Driving around. So what I'm trying to do, my space right now is producing more success. Success equals money. The more money I make, the more cash flowing assets I can buy. Okay, the more cash flowing assets I can buy, the more time I get. The more time I get, the more experience I can suck out of life before I die. Okay, so that's my goal track that I'm on. And how do I do that? I surround myself with more success. And success isn't just people; it's things. It's what represents success, because then you attract more people that are successful because they're vibrating on the same wavelength that you are. So my different I wanted the podcast to succeed. That could be a goal, right?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Not just succeed, I'm sorry. Continue to progress because it is succeeding. So I wanted to continue to grow. So what did I do? I built a fucking badass podcast room. Yeah. I am manifesting the success for the podcast. I'm building it in anticipation of the success. Okay. I want the brokerage to grow. I could have wrote that down in type 2 in 12 font and Times New Roman and thumbtacked it to my wall. Or I could have said, fuck it, I'm going to expand the building.
Right.
Right?
Right.
What have I forced myself to do?
Grow.
I didn't sit here and analyze and go, I wonder if I get 42 agents and I charge them $120 a month and I'm going to make back all my money. And then first I was like, blow the wall down. Right now, cut it out. We're blowing through it. Mm-hmm. And then now that the space is done, now I've got something to sell. I'm watching the people in my amazing life use it and enjoy it and love it. Mm-hmm. I'm experiencing anyway. So all of these things, so I have a vision in my mind, and then I just put as much action behind it as possible. And then I let like the rest of it catch up, if that makes sense. So the success catches up once I've built the place for the success to take place in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I was going to say, how do you track the success of your goals that you set?
Well, okay. So a good example of goal setting, these are good questions, and this is a fun conversation to have. I'm going to go back to, I walked downstairs in the house that I bought in 2004, and my dogs had peed everywhere and destroyed the floor. And I was like, I think I need hardwood floor. And Danny's upstairs sleeping. And I'm like, Danny, we need to put in hardwood floor down here. The flooring's all fucked up. And he's like, well, we've never installed flooring. I was like, I know, but we'll figure out how to do it. And so he's heeing and hawing a little bit. And I felt a little doubt in my mind. And I swear to you, this is a true story on everything. I grabbed a knife and I immediately cut the biggest hole I possibly could in the middle of the carpet in the living room.
So that you could
right away, before that fear struck in and took hold, I rolled it up and I looked down and go, now we have to. And that's the same thing. This podcast has to succeed now at this moment. Why?
Right.
I've invested money in everything that we are using. The brokerage has to succeed now.
Yeah.
Why? Because I've invested money in it. So for me, I have a goal. I build the infrastructure around it. I don't ask any questions. It sometimes is very, very scary. It costs a lot of money. But I just have faith that whatever the infrastructure is that I built, I will be able to shove the success that I want into it, and then it will manifest itself into dollars. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense.
Instead of sitting there and going and analyzing and analyzing and then thinking of every problem and then trying to overcome
your action is
it's
typing
action.
it out.
That's what a goal is. It's action,
Yeah.
but you're just defining your action.
All right. So a really good question I have is, do your goals change throughout the year?
Do my goals change throughout the year? No.
How are you going to say no?
My financial goals?
Okay.
I think I know where you're going at it,
okay.
but I think it's more important to stay in my space, which is that the answer is no. Do they change, meaning I start making more money and I'm exceeding my goals? Yeah, that may change, but I never, ever change what I sought out to get. I will fight until December 31st and have 100% failure on my record, which is fine, but I won't give up until the year ends and I know I at least tried my best to hit that goal.
That's not the direction that I was going, but go ahead.
Well, then stay in the direction you're going. But just for the record, I have never, anytime I've ever set a goal, which I've probably been setting goals, I've been setting goals for many years. I've been setting goals for 10, 15 years. I was raised on setting goals. I was programmed in Mexico to set goals. But I've been setting ambitious, quality, financial goals for probably the last 6 years, and I have accomplished every single one. And what were you going to say?
The direction I was going is, you set a goal, for example, the one that sticks out the biggest for me is when you said we're going to get 20 rental properties. And then we were at 18 and you wanted to have 20 that year, and you're like, yeah, I want to get like 23 this year. I'm like, whoa. You didn't even hit the 20 yet to celebrate the 20 to get to the 23. So you do change your goals.
Yes, well, I do change them.
Not in the negative direction. I was just meaning the other way.
Yeah, no, this is a good conversation to have because there's so much balance that takes place in my life because of you that I don't think is probably recognized or realized. It's easy for me to accomplish and then toss the accomplishment over my right shoulder, which really what that does is it's just showing that it is all about the journey. Because once you hit it, it don't feel that good. Once you accomplish it and finish the goal, you're like, okay, next, get me back in the journey because the journey was always fun. So people that are like, oh my God, it's so fucking painful and I just can't see it at the end of the tunnel. And that's the fucking part that's cool.
Right. That's the important part.
That's the part that's of enjoyment.
Right.
That's why when someone just hands you a Lamborghini, it doesn't feel as good as if you worked for the last 3 years and said, I'm buying a fucking Lamborghini.
True.
You're like, damn, that was incredible. That feeling was amazing. Think about that. Now, this isn't what I would wish for. Obviously, I wish that there was a pill like this. But think like when we got through our cancer journey, we looked at each other and were like, we fucking did it. We fucking did it. And we were new people.
Yes.
We were substantially new people. You were a completely different person. Something you should be proud of and you'll be proud of for the next 80 years of your life. A 1-year experience will have an effect on your life for the next 70 years. Think how valuable that 1 year is.
No, I agree.
Now, if somebody walked in and goes, take this pill. Of course, we would want that because we don't want the worst case scenario to take place. But it wouldn't have transformed you or me like it did. So same thing applies with goals. The pain is the journey. The pain is the pleasure.
Do you have personal versus business goals, or are they all business? They're
all business because, in my opinion, life is just easier with money. Honestly. And I always, every problem I walk into, society's built it this way. I have a strong mind too, so I wish my mind could solve all my problems without money. But society's not built that way. You can't just stare at a problem and be like, you could go away,
No.
Go away. No. Money makes everything easier. So I start with that. And then I say, okay, the main thing, okay, so here's how I look at operating my life, okay, is look at, and this is a good experiment that I was wanting to actually do, I think we should still do at the office, is go buy like 5 shot glasses, okay, and put all the different things on them, family, health, money, social, give me one more. I think I always say 5, and I think I always come up with 4. So let's call it 4, okay? And it's a visual representation of how are you balancing your life. So you fill all of those glasses with water, and then you pay attention and you're watching them. Okay, that one needs a little more. And then your refill is a representation of energy. My social life is draining. I need to apply energy to that space in my life. And this is called balance. Okay? I'm driving down the 215, I hit a bump and my belly's hanging over the top of my pants and it does a little wobble. I know that shot glass is low. I got to apply some energy to eating better, to working out more, to drinking more water. Okay. My wife is feeling neglected at home. She's a little bit more hot with me. And when I come home, she's feeling as if I'm investing too much time at work. So this shot glass is overflowing, but this one is underflowing. So I apply energy there. Goals are all of these representations and the things that I'm describing. Those are all goals. My goal is to live a balanced life. Well, how do you do it? I just showed you. If you can't figure out how to live a balanced life, I just gave you a step-by-step visual tool that's very easy. You take a label maker and 4 shot glasses and put whatever you value on each one and put them right in front of your face wherever you work every day. And when you walk in, you're going to look and go, I told myself I wanted balance in this space, this space, this space, this space, and this space. And I know today that this space is lacking. So I need to give that space some energy. Okay. So that's how I manage all of my other desires in life outside of my financial goals.
Okay.
Is I live my life like with those shot glasses. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense.
So instead of having a specific goal like just this or that, I just want balance across the board. How do I do it? That's kind of how I do it. But I'm able to keep a read without a visual representation of shot glasses.
Gotcha.
Although it doesn't hurt to have that. But
Right.
I can kind of just keep a read on it. Am I feeling fulfilled in my guy department? If I'm not, then I need to go hang out with my buddies. Am I feeling fulfilled in my mom, department? If not, I go hang out with her. Am I feeling fulfilled with you? Honestly, I don't know if the feeling's the same, but I feel very fulfilled with you. A lot. I feel very connected and in love with you all the time.
Oh,
I know. It sounds cheesy, but I'm just being candid. So I'm being honest. Okay. So what I do every year is I sit down before the year starts.
Before the year starts, you have to be done by January 1st.
I have to be done by January 1st, and I set up how much I want to make. Now, that's very easy to do, right? I want to make $5 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it has to be realistic.
It doesn't even have to be realistic. This next explanation will show its realism. Okay, so set your goal. I don't give a shit where you want to put it. Okay, and then you reverse engineer it. How do you get there? People often think that you start at the start line to understand where you're going. The reality is, just like with anything in life, if you just get in your car, start driving, go, I'm going somewhere. Well, where are you going? I'm fucking going. I'm driving. Leave me alone. Well, where? I'm going. Those are the people that don't ever have a goal or an accomplishment or anything in their life. The person that goes, I'm going to New York, but I'm starting here.
And I'm going to stop it here and stop here and stop here in order to get
there. They know where they're going. But the only way, so you have to start with where you're going, which is your big goal. Let's call it $100,000, okay? For easy math. Now you reverse engineer that. How do you reverse engineer that? You break that $100,000 into incremental chunks that you feel are attainable, okay? So I would say an easy number is $3,000. If I told you that you had to find $3,000, a way to make $3,000 in the next 30 days, just set a time frame. Doesn't mean anything. Call it 2 weeks so that people don't get hung up on the monthly part of me calling it 30 days. If I told you have to find a hustle on how to make $3,000 in the next 2 weeks, or I'm just going to blow your head off, you'd figure out a way to do it. Yeah. Okay? And that would feel, and it should feel easy. $3,000 isn't a ton of money. Okay, so now you're like, all right, so now I figured it out. Now I take 100,000 and I divide it by 3,000. Right. And whatever that number is, let's see.
That's what I was saying. I was thinking 3,000 is not easy math, but
100,000 divided by 3,000, 33 times. Okay. So you have to find 33 opportunities in 12 months
to make
$3,000 to accomplish $100,000. Tell me that I didn't just make that so simple. Yeah. Okay, hold on. I'll make it even more simple. Now you divide that 33 by 12. That's 2.7. Okay. You have to find 2.7 $3,000 opportunities a month to hit your goal. Okay. So you identify whatever task it is that can generate $3,000. Let's say you're a real estate agent. Call it one commission. Okay. You have to sell a $100,000 home. Well, let's say that you don't want to work that hard. Well, now you just sell a $500,000 home, and you make $15,000 in a month. Yeah. But that's what reverse engineering is. And so for me, I'm trying to create a general analogy in hopes that it applies to more people. But if that wasn't communicated very well, I'll use this next opportunity to try to help. How do I do it personally? So I take the amount of money that I want to make in a year, and I divide it by how much I think the profit is on each flip, right? So let's just say my goals are more ambitious than $1 million, but I'm going to use $1 million to keep a humble approach and to not sound like my goals are too small. I'm going to assume I can make $20,000 per house.
Okay.
I think I can. I know I can. I don't think I know. Okay, 20,000. That means I got to buy 50 houses.
Okay.
Okay, so divide that by 12. That's 4 houses a month. Divide that by 1. Excuse me. Divide that by 4 equals 1. 1 house a week.
A week.
So what do I have to do? I have to work in this office and not get out of that chair until I know I have acquired a house for that week. Mm-hmm. Now, if I get behind, you know what I do? I don't bitch and complain. I don't blame everybody around me. I fucking work harder. Mm-hmm. So that means if this week, if I don't get a house, that means I need to work late. I need to work early. I need to work harder. I need to work more intelligently. I need to go back to the drawing board. I need to figure out why I'm not buying houses, what tools that I'm using aren't being effective. I need to change those tools, or I got to find more tools, or I got to find different ways to find houses. There's no excuse. I don't just go, the fucking market shifted. Fuck, I'm just not going to hit my goals. No.
What happens if you get 2 houses in a week?
Then I know I can take the brakes off a little bit. But I don't take the brakes off until I'm about 6 or 7 months into the year.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. I know you don't slow down just because you're ahead.
No, just because I'm ahead, because I don't know if that drought's going to come.
Right.
You know, so last year I pushed so hard, which I think a piece of that was attributed to wanting to be distracted because of the journey that you and I were going through, that I really turned it up. If I remember, I think it was June, July, August. It was August. It was August. In August, I had accomplished my whole year's worth of goals. So then I was like, all right, I can kind of chill, but why not make more money?
No accidents. That was my last chemo.
Really?
Yeah.
How funny. Yeah. So I keep the gas going super hard.
Yeah.
And there's just no excuse. And what I tell my team around me, and what I would tell people to tell their team around them, or even what they want to fucking tell themselves, is I care more about my commitment to accomplishing your goals that I've made to accomplishing your goals, and the commitment that I've made to accomplishing my goals than I care about your feelings. So if you're on my team and you are aligned with me, with my vision, which is to accomplish the goal that we set out to accomplish. If you're truly aligned with me, then you will embrace that same mentality. And when I sense that you're slacking and I call you out, you will receive the criticism gracefully, almost with a level of gratitude, saying thank you for holding me accountable so that I stay in a space of accomplishment, not in a space of lack or willing to give up. You should be looking at me going, thank you. And that's how I know I have a good team right now. Is that when I look at any of my guys, if I sense a moment of lapse where they've lost vision of the goal, mm-hmm. and I have to fucking crack them, they look back and go, "Thanks, man, I appreciate it." And I would expect the same fucking thing from them. Just the difference is they can't quite catch that on me because I'm always making sure that I'm focused on my goals. I'd love for someone to come back and slap the shit out of me and say, dude, you're not working hard enough.
I don't think that.
I don't know if it'd happen.
Yeah, that's not.
It wouldn't happen.
No.
So that's my summary on goals. Super important. Super important. And I guess something else that I would love to do, if you'd like more information on how to pull this off, reach out. Like, let's sit down and reverse engineer it. Because you give me a whiteboard and your goal, and I'll tell you exactly how to get there.
Yeah, I think it's important to have a visual representation of it, though, so that you can look at it, see it, be reminded of it. If it's just in your mind, it's never going to come to fruition.
And that was my point about the different types of visual representations. Yeah. I don't think that it's...
It could be the background on your phone.
Exactly.
It could be,
whatever my focus is, Galindo Futures... What does that say?
Galindo Futures.
Galindo Futures. That is the entity that holds all of our cash flowing assets. That is my only focus right now. So I focus on all my other companies to make sure that they make money, but I take all that money and shove it into Galindo Futures. And my hope is that Galindo Futures is the one that is accelerating the most.
Yeah.
So, and it is. Because what do we have? We're basically, I always say the building is worth 7 doors. Mm-hmm. And we have 43 other doors. So we're basically at 50 units. So I'm going to end this with one thing.
Okay.
Because I think this is crucial. And I think the world is living by it, but I don't think they realize that they're living by it.
I know.
This is a crazy statement that is so incredibly accurate. And I stole it, but of course I had to steal it with a little bit of a twist because I don't like just straight up copying people because that's lazy. So if you know me based on who I was a year ago, you don't know me at all. My growth game is strong. Allow me to reintroduce myself. And every year you should be able to say that to somebody that you hadn't seen in a year. And if you think about it, who did you touch a year ago and haven't touched since? Would they know you the same?
No.
You are a substantially different human being today.
Yeah.
And so am I. And that's how I know I accomplished my goals. Because my fucking growth game is strong. So I'll leave it with that.
That was good. That was good.
Love you,
Good
Bob.
job, babe.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for listening.
If you enjoyed the show, please rate, subscribe, and share our podcast. You can also connect with us on social media or at galindogrouprealestate.com.
Until next time, thanks again for listening.